Welcome to Deentana Academy. Our topic for today is how to deal with children's problems. Problems, when we say, it's the common behavioral problems like anger, arrogancy, and crying or craving for things, depression. These are the common things which we see on a daily basis. The children may alternate to some degree, but these are some of the common problems we can see across the children. So first we will talk about anger. Basically, whenever we tell our children to do something or to study or to bring something from the nearby shop or do some work, household work, then immediately we can see there is a lot of reaction and hatred towards us, and then they just don't want to do it, they don't want to get disturbed, because of which they get fired up and they start shouting, and then we can see a lot of unwanted reaction from the children. Basically, there might be two things. One is, yes, the children is getting angry because of the what he wants to do at that point of time. That is one thing, is always there. The second thing to be very important to be observed is how the child has picked up the environment in the home. See, for example, when the child is very small and then we are enjoying the children getting angry, isn't it? So we see, whenever we see our child is getting angry for something, then we enjoy that, and then some people take a grave happiness in that. Okay, my child got angry and he said this today, something like that. They feel a kind of a proud feeling. That is okay when it's a very small children, but as they grow, then the child starts getting acknowledging it in his mind, in his or her mind, that it is very normal to do so. So that is one thing. Second thing is, if you are getting angry as a parents or some grandparents or some elders in the home are getting angry in front of the children, and everyone are accepting that behavior, so then that might also have gone into the children's head that it is perfectly normal to get angry. So in this case, what we can do? Yes, definitely we cannot go back and unlearn some of the things or whatever happened, but going forward we can change our behavior. That is in our control. And second thing is, whenever the children get angry, maintain a strict no for such kind of a behavior. Definitely it will take some time, but it is going to be very fruitful in the coming time. Second thing is arrogancy. By arrogancy we mean, so they don't want to do something. They don't want to do something, and they want to do their own thing, which they like, according to their likes and dislikes. They might want to act, and then they don't want to obey you. See, basically we have to understand from the parent's point of view also, there might be some things like you could have said to your child that you will get something, some particular thing to the child, and then you have not got it that day. So, and there might be some cases where there is some, like whenever we are talking with our parents, and then we might have not followed something, or there might be some like we have missed to do something. So the children see that, and then they see that, okay, our parent is disobeying their parents, and then it's okay for me as well to not to obey. This definitely, it might be a very rare case, but there is a chance for this happening. So we have to be very careful as parents of how we are behaving in front of the children. In olden times, we can remember in our early age, our parents used to send us to inside the room whenever there is some fight is going to happen in the family or something like that. So they want to raise the voice on somebody. Usually that was a practice. But nowadays there is no such distinction in any home, and then the environment is totally free for all the children. Let them observe whatever. See, it is definitely we know that we get angry sometimes, and then we do shout at somebody for some wrong doing. All this is fine, but it is perfectly not okay in front of the children. And also we have to be very aware of the fact that anger is one of the most detrimental factor for our body. So whenever we get angry, a kind of electric shock is sent into the body, and then it travels along to every part of the body, and then there is an electrical impulse built in the body, which is very, very harmful for our blood pressure and well-being as well. So therefore, we have to understand first that getting angry is a strict no, and then we have to convince the children as well that anger can never be tolerated in home. So definitely we have to put something in place and then make sure that it is followed. Next, we are going to deal with the next particular problem, like crying or craving for things. We can see the children, they want something and then they start crying for that. Sometimes we may have money or we don't have money at that point of time, but the children doesn't listen. They don't want to listen, they just want that thing to be bought at that particular point of time. So sometimes it becomes a social nuisance in front of many people. And these things, we can see that we have we are telling that, okay, I am working at so and so place, and then I am earning for my children to enjoy whatever I couldn't have as a child. Well, that is fine. But when the children are small and then they are asking for some small things, it's all fine. But what about as they grow up, their choices and their the things that they want increase in the value in terms of money as well, and there is no value in terms of what is the use of that particular thing. So basically we have to be very careful in those things, and then see whatever it is good for them, they want to play. Yes, definitely to some extent we have to take that and give them, but not in all cases. So we have to be very careful or very choosy in getting the things. So for example, like, okay, when you feel that, okay, that whatever the child is asking is absolutely a nonsense and it's not at all going to be of any use in the coming time, but then definitely you can say no. Let them cry, no problem. So while crying in that process, what they understand, like, it is not possible to get each and every damn thing, because life is like that. As they grow on, then if we go on getting all the things for them, so then there are chances of they getting depressed whenever they cannot get something. So this might be a very serious impact when they are grown up, and then they can't accept the fact that they cannot get something at the time of their immediate need. That is very, very bad. So we can tell them instead that, okay, you complete this and then I can get you this. That kind of a reward and recognition program, you can set it up. And please refrain from getting whatever things they are asking immediately at that time. If, for example, some children will ask, okay, I want to eat an ice cream in the middle of the night at around some 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the evening. So it is going to harm the child. And one or time maybe it is fine, but not all the times. It may lead into very serious health issues as well. So we have to keep all these things in the mind and be very careful whenever we are getting some things for our children. The next topic that I want to talk about is the depression. See, basically we can see that some children get depressed for no reason. they are seeing they are seeing the parents or elders getting depressed, and they feel that okay, it is normal to get depressed. So basically, so we have to be, first thing is we have to be very careful whenever we are showing our depression in front of children. They are easily going, they are going to pick it up. See, for example, they can tell that okay, they don't want to go to school today because such and such thing has happened, or they want to take some excuse. So they have some serious headache or something like that, and they are depressed because of it, and they don't want to go. So all these things definitely are, except whenever there are some certain medical issues. Other than that, children are a bundle of joy, as I always say, and they cannot get depressed. Grown-up youngsters, we can understand that due to hormonal changes they might get depression, but at the children in a primary and middle level, definitely there is no kind of a depression and all. So we have to be very careful about what is the thing they have, what has happened and why they are getting depressed. So we have to be very careful about it. So next, coming to very important part of this topic is like how do we deal with all these problems: anger, arrogancy, and crying or craving for things, or depression. Basically, we have to inculcate the value of obedience in the children right from the early age itself. So we have to make sure that it is very, very important to be obedient to parents, elders, grandparents, and to the omnipotent God. By obedience, we mean that first, the obedience to what we can see. So the first thing for the children to become obedient is they have to be obedient to their parents. That is the first thing. Second thing, they have to respect the elders or whoever is there in the home. To even their brother, sister, also some kind of an obedience is required. So that is a very important thing within the family. And second thing, whenever they go to the school, they have to be obedient and sincere to the teachers. See, as we see that if these things are followed, if they are obedient in the home, if they are obedient to the teachers, then we have an 100% chance, we can say that definitely they are going to have complete sincerity in their studies. If this is not so, if they are not obedient at the home, if they are not obedient to the teachers, they are not listening to the teachers' words, then we can be rest assured that they are not having the sincerity or obedience in their learning process in studies. If they are not ready to respect parents or even the teachers, then how are they going to respect the system, learning system, where they don't find anything that is like kind of giving some kind of a pleasure or something like that? How they can go and have that? Please think very much about it. So this obedience, we have to instill the obedience or sincerity from a very early age. Otherwise it becomes very difficult as they go on, they grow up and become teenagers. It's very difficult. Then if you are going and teaching them obedience, then it is not going to work, definitely. So hence, whenever they are from young age itself, we have to make them obedient in the family. They have to do something. If you tell them to do something, they have to do it at any cost. We have to be a little bit strict in that kind of an approach. Let them learn. They might come back, they can retaliate in some situations, but definitely whenever a rule is made in the home, definitely they are going to follow it. Nobody can say something about it. So that is one thing. So in the school, so what is the first thing we all do. So the first thing is the prayer. So that is the reason why the prayer system is introduced in the schools as a token of respect for the teachers and for the learning process. So this is a very important thing to be understood, that the act of doing a prayer, like in standing in a straight lines of rows and then facing towards the teachers, and the teachers are even giving a blessing to the children that they might excel in their studies, and then we are singing together and then concentrating our minds. So these are all important things that are happening in the prayer process. So hence this is a very important tool. Whenever in the home also, whenever they get ready for the school, it's very important to tell them, go and do perform some puja in the puja room, or whatever form of worship that you belong to. It is very important for them to tell them. The second thing is the daily salutation to the people in the family, the elders in the family. Many people say that it's like they don't want to get touched on the feet by the children. Please make sure that your child touches the feet of at least any one member of the family in the morning before they go for the school. Please make that as a habit. What are the advantages? Let us discuss them. See, basically, whenever they are touching the feet of any elder, the first thing is they are going to receive some blessing. Whenever somebody touches your feet, then immediately you give a blessing to them. Let it be in form of word or in the form of a thought. You tell that, let good things happen for you for this day. This is a very, very, very important thing that is going to give a very positive vibration to the child for that day and also for the coming times. So please make sure that the child does a daily salutation to at least one member of the family, either a grandparent, grandfather, grandmother, mother or uncle, whoever is there in the family. So they have to touch the feet, they have to bow down, kneel down and then touch the feet. Not just for just they are touching the leg and then they are coming. No, they have to kneel down properly and then they have to take a blessing. So that also will cut down their ego, and they also makes them feel a gratitude for whatever they are received from the parents and other people in the family. And they can also understand there are so many unprivileged children that they don't have family to give a respect as well. Simple processes like the prayer, performing the puja and doing daily salutation, if it is done on a daily basis, then imagine what could be the impact on the children's minds. And it can be a very such simple solution for tackling some of the common problems such as anger or arrogancy or kind of depression. Whenever there is a lot of positive energy and vibration, where there is room for all these negative feelings. So we can definitely consider this as a easy solution, and also it builds a positive hope on the parents, and then you also get a commitment on the children. Okay, they are behaving obediently, and then we have to live up to the word that we have given to our child in fulfilling their needs, whatever they wish for, and it is good for them. So this it becomes a win-win situation for both the parents and children, and there is a lot of mutual respect. See, just imagine that we have seen a lot of families where we are scolding the children from the morning till the night they go to the bed. We are just scolding them every moment that this is not right, you are not doing this, not doing that. This is what it is creating, is generating a lot of negative emotion in the children, and it is building up as a contempt on the parents and contempt on the children, and it is leading to very big problems. And we see more and more often these days we are not able to raise our children in home, and then we are sending them outside for some residential schools or something like that. We are seeing that these children are uncontrollable, and then we just want to get rid of them. Let them go to some good residential school. Let those people, their wardens or some teachers in that particular residential school, let them give strict punishment and let them make them study or something like that. So why are we going to that extreme? Why are we depriving the children of their natural learning process? And definitely that might be a choice when you don't have any other option, because you are working somewhere and the mother is working somewhere. And there might be situations like that where sending the children to a residential school may be a very good option, but definitely not when you consider that everyone is there and you can support the child in your home. Then what is the reason for sending them outside? So please consider all these things. Just by making a few small changes, if we are going to get a result, so then why should not we try on these simple things and then try to see the results? So with this I come to the end of this topic, and then we will meet in the next video. Thank you, and please stay tuned for more videos. Thanking you, Narasimha Prasad.